Hey guys, so this is actually like part 3A of the video. In part 3, I went over, me just kind of laying out these steps here of what I want to automate based on the prerequisites over here for installing kubeadm. And then in that video, I skipped ahead to where you see these filled out, and we just kind of go over them and make them work. So this is just the kind of in-between, if you're interested afterwards, where you just kind of watch me build the playbook to set the prereqs for installing kubeadm on a Kubernetes cluster and installing the actual software. So I'm pretty sure. So let's see. We're on Ansible, firewall, the module. Sage K8s Cluster 1. So first I need to get onto one of my hosts and see if firewalld is installed. Wrong host. We want K8s admin. So I'm pretty sure it should be. Status firewalld. Firewalld is not installed. So. Red Hat systems than I am with Debian-based systems. I work primarily with Red Hat systems. I work all day. So it's installing firewalld. So here's the firewalld module, and I want the Ansible service module as well, because I'm gonna have to turn on and enable the firewalld service. So in case you didn't know, each module in Ansible has its own little documentation like this. So when I kind of forget, because I don't like to memorize all of them, just kind of go down the list here. Check out firewalld. It's running. Alright, so we're going to make it enabled through here. So firewalld is our module. So let's look at our ports here. So check required ports. Alright, so if it's a control plane node, we're going to need these. If it's a worker node, we're going to need these. So do port permanent, yes, enabled. Port permanent, yes, state. Is it state enabled or just enabled? State enabled. Alright. And I think I can do a list here, actually. Port.item. I think you can do it with items. Let me just make sure. Port.item. List of items. item with items. So it'll loop through here the items that I define. I want, so the syntax of the port is the port number / TCP or UDP. Okay, and Kubernetes says we need 6443 TCP. We'll get a range here. Let's specify a range here. I know I've done, yep, they do, okay. So we are doing 2739 to 2380. Again, TCP. We're gonna do 10.250. TCP as well. 10.251, 10.252. So actually, 10.250. I don't know why they didn't do a range for that as well. I mean, this is pretty large. No, that's supposed to be 79. 2379. 2380. I'll TCP. Right. And I'm going to do when. I believe if we want to use the magic variable group names, I believe because here's my inventory. This is for control plane, so this is for masters. I believe if I specify masters in group names, that should work. So the next we've got the worker nodes. So then we'll duplicate this. Name open ports masters workers. And we need 10.250 TCP. Was it item.port or port.item? Item.port. Always read the documentation. And then we've got 30,000 to, okay, I'm just going to copy that. TCP. So it should, oh, I got to do the when. I think I called it workers. Yes. Workers. So I think what this is going to do is it's going to run the conditional that when the host is in the workers group, do this. When it's in the masters group, do this. I hope. Stay tuned. We're going to use a service module. The name of the service is going to be firewalld D. Yep. State. We started. Enabled. And I'm just going off memory here. Enabled. Yes. Let me check. Enabled. Choice is yes. Okay. Alright, so that should restart firewall D and make sure it's enabled system boot time. One of the bad things about the way I installed Ansible as sudo, or actually, I have no idea what I did, but anyway, now anytime I make anything here, I have to make sure I'm sudo. Anytime I want, when I did that Ansible Galaxy init role, I had to do it as sudo. All these files are owned by root, so yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I'll fix it one day. All right, so next I need to disable swap as one of the prerequisites. All right, so I know how to disable swap on a Red Hat system. Let me just make sure it's the same on Ubuntu. Good old ask Ubuntu. Swap off -a. I don't think there's a swap module for Ansible. I know Jeff Geerling has Ansible swap role in Ansible Galaxy, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm trying to do all vanilla Ansible, you know, just whatever it came with. So if swap off -a, but is that persistent? Is that gonna here? Even someone asks, like, is this persistent? Permanent changes to swap are made in etc fstab. Okay, so I think I'll do this twofold, right? I'll turn it off. So I'll do a shell command. So which swap off for, since these are all the same OS, user sbin swap off -a, disable swap now, and then we'll go ahead and we'll have one for disable swap persistent. Persistently, you know, across reboots. To do that, of course, you know, we'll just take out etc fstab. So why is it taking so long? Oh, it looks like I don't have swap actually out of the box. On here, swap off. Okay. Command swap not found. Okay, yeah. I don't think we're doing swap on here, but just in case, we would want to. Well, let's see. We could do a sed command and replace it with oh, and they're just commenting out. Okay, so yeah, we can just steal this actually. Actually, I don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this here, but since I don't have to do it, and since whatever an etc fstab is gonna differ for some people, I'm just gonna leave that like that, and hopefully when you pull it in, if you need to edit etc fstab with Ansible, you can edit this to you know, regex sed for whatever's going on in your specific etc fstab file. so sleepy for you. Word. Girlfriend's falling asleep in statistics class. Alright, make sure br-netfilter module is loaded. So they have a little thing here actually. So it's a module, so if we use lsmod and we grep for br-netfilter, it's not loaded. But do I have the capability to load it on this operating system that I've installed? Modprobe, can't spell, modprobe br-netfilter. Okay, yeah, so I do. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do here is I'm actually gonna run a command here, and we're going to do our lsmod and grep for br-netfilter. And then we're going to register that output to netfilter variable. No. Netfilter bar. There we go. Then we're going to take load br-netfilter if it is not loaded. So we're going to take this variable and what did we do? Modprobe? Which modprobe? And we're going to go ahead and, no, I want this. So if it's not loaded, we're going to do our modprobe br-netfilter, but only when netfilter var.standard out, so whatever was output to here as a variable in standard out. I've done this before. That's a little conditional when variable is empty. This is how it's not empty. When var.standard out is equal to nothing, right? Okay, so I'm going to register the output of this, and if it's empty, we're going to do this. If it's not empty, that means br-netfilter is loaded, so we're not going to do this. We're just going to skip over it. Netfilter var, netfilter var, that's standard out. Okay, that looks good to me. You should ensure NetBridge set to 1 and sysctl. I'm gonna do this, so this is gonna be part of this. So this is gonna, if we do this, this is going to ensure that it's persistent across reboots, the loading of the module. So place K8s.conf in modules-load.b. do a line in file. Path. Let's see, modules -load. I think it'll create the file. K8s.conf. Same way if you were to like VI a file that didn't exist, it would create it. Let's check out the Ansible line module. Let's see. So I do a path. Let's see, path, file to modify. File to modify. Well, what if it doesn't exist? File, okay. Create, state present, create. Yes, okay. Yeah, by default will fail if files missing. So we want state present create. Yes. So if it's not present, we'll create it. Let's see. And we want to place our line in the file. I don't really need to regex anything because the file is going to be empty. So if I just put line, and we need to put EVR no filter in here. Now, yeah, you could just do a command or a shell module with this command and it would do the same thing, but it's not idempotent. That makes sense? Doesn't, you know, written like this, if it's already there, it's not going to do it. If written like this, if it's there, it's going to do it. And then because we're creating the file, looks like we can define an owner. Probably root, I'm guessing. Good guess. Root, and then I think for mode, you know, if I don't define these, it's just gonna inherit the permissions and the owner user of the directory above it. But I think this is 644. And Ansible needs you to define this with 4 digits, not 3. So let's see. So that should be good for that. Save. I can get rid of this now. Alright. Let me actually VR net filter module is loaded. That's that section. This will be the. Oh no, I guess we could. I can group this all into one actually and call it what it is. Editing IP tables, C bridge traffic, and that's just going to be all these steps right here. So next we need to put these 2 lines in a file called K8s.conf, and I think actually for this one, I think I'm gonna actually, am I remember right? Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna make a template here. I'll call it K8s.conf.j. Oh, K8s.conf.j2. Oh boy. gotta go. I'm gonna fix this directory structure real quick. I'm the wrong host for that. Yeah, whatever. Don't do this at home, kids. Well. Really? See, I don't get it. I'm a user. What? What's? Did that go? Oh, you know what? That entire role. Let me move. Let me move this. First of all, this role needs to be under roles. Where did it go? It clearly went somewhere. Where did? Oh, did it? Oh no. All right, hang on. I can fix this. Apparently I created a roles directory at the root of the system. Alright, all I need is tasks right now. So if I copy this. God, I am dumb today. Ooh. That's why they say never use a root unless you know what you're doing, right? Alright, so to fix this, I'm gonna go. First, I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna go into the roles directory, and then I'm gonna galaxy ansible galaxy init role kubeadm install. Role init. And it has been created. Hey, look at that, it's under roles. And because I only had this file created, bam, we're back where we need to be. But apparently something didn't get saved. Oh, you know what? It was this part where I cut it up here. Why do I keep thinking abridged traffic? And I suppose I'm going to use the template module for this. I'm going to change this to user. should be able to. Hey, there we go. Alright. I just want these two to be loaded into sysctl. I'm going to save that. So we're going to template. We're going to have source as k8s.conf.j2. Destination will be etc sysctl.d k8s.conf. And it'll just inherit whatever it gets from the directory, which will be just fine. Then we need to apply this in real time. Apply sysctl changes. We'll do command ssh. Do a which real quick. Which sysctl. And it's a -- system according to this page. Alright, check record ports. We already did that. What was next on the list? Oh, yeah. I like to make this look like neat. I'm gonna separate it out. So let's see. Now we're gonna install software. So, opening ports, enabling the firewall, restarting the firewall, disabling swap if it's on. You know, if I get a return code of 1 for this, is this gonna fail? Don't know. It might just not. It might just do nothing. Because it's going to give empty output the same way this would if this isn't loaded. Okay, so then let's install our container runtime. Pod network plugin may also require certain parts to be open. See each pod network plugin, see documentation. We'll get to that later. Container runtime interface. So I said I'm using container D for this project. So where's my coffee actually? By default, Kubernetes is a container runtime interface which has a container runtime. If you don't specify runtime, kubeadm automatically tries to detect and install container runtime by scanning through a list of well-known Unix domain sockets. Container data, so container D. Docker takes precedence. This is needed. We need that. Kubelet integrates with Docker through a built-in Docker shim. So I've installed Docker before, and that's usually pretty easy. It's usually just like a Docker install. What if I want container D? So this is to make container D work. So is there anything extra I have to do here? Oh, I need to load modules-load.d. You know, I might as well combine container dconf and k8s conf because they're all kind of for the same project. So I might just, instead of line and file, I think I'll do template. And I'll have a source of K8s.conf. And destination will be there. K8s.conf.j2. So let me actually go ahead and, oh, wait a minute. No, I can't do that because K8s.conf is already K8s modules.conf. K8s modules.conf.j2. Alright, so I knew I need a BRNet filter, but now I need overlay too. And that's for container D. So actually just to make container D requirements, I'll just say kubeadm requirements. I like to separate even my like Linux config files. I like to separate out modules sysctl. Okay, cool. Just makes things easier. Like if somebody comes behind me and they don't know that I did anything using Ansible, they don't know what I did, but they decide to go into the config file one day and they're like, oh, this is why this is this way. Okay, cool. Makes everybody's life easier. So now it looks like we also want to do this here, but we want to do the same thing, but instead of doing BRNet filter, we want to do overlay. And it looks like we've got some more stuff to add to our sysctl conf. You know, I'm gonna actually edit the name of this. Not in actual, like once it gets into the system, but like just here in the playbook because it makes it easier to keep track of when you pull it from GitHub. Instead of editing this, we're going to be adding it. Okay. So I already have bridge, and I've called IP tables, IP6 tables. So I need this one. And we already know we're going to be sysctl system. So to install container D from the official. Okay, so we got to go through this process first. So let's see. I don't want Docker engine though. I just want container D. Oh, I just have to set up the repository, right? install package from the official Docker repositories, instructions for setting up Docker repository for your respective, and installing container data can be found. Okay. I want stable, pretty sure. Ubuntu, ARM. I think I'm doing. Let's see here. I like my RPM command, okay? Gives me warm fuzzies. RPM is already the newest version. Oh, you know what? I'm not sudo. Okay. I'm just trying to grep a package here. Okay, let's see. When I installed firewalld, what did I get? I got ARM64 packages. Okay, just making sure. So I want this repository. I don't have any annual versions. So let's see, we're actually gonna set up the container, the install repo. Looks like we're doing an apt-get install. I think there is an apt-get install Ansible module, because there's a yum Ansible module. I'd be surprised if there wasn't an apt module for Debian-based systems. Ah, we can do more. Cool, awesome. So we want apt package. All these packages they want us to get. So we want apt transport HTTPS. We want CA certificates, curl, GN UPG, LSP-release. So they want us to install all that. Install required software to set up container install repo. They want us to curl the official Docker GPG key. I'm sure there is a curl module for Ansible, but they've got it kind of broken down here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and key. Whoa. Shell this right here. There's one command. use the following command to set up this stable repository. I want stable repository. So they want me to do this save. Alright. Name, setup. Stable Docker repository. So we're going to echo all this jazz here. That ends there. I'm wondering if I should close this. Yeah, I'm going to close that. Ansible might yell at me for mismatching quotations, but we'll see. So I don't want to install a Docker engine. I just want containerd.io. So let's see. So we're going to do this again after we do this, because we had to do this one first so we could get these packages to facilitate doing these commands to facilitate pulling in containerd.io. Where's my coffee? Again, shout out to where's Lake Guy over here on YouTube. I'm actually using their relaxing Final Fantasy VII relaxing music and rain video off YouTube, just because I really enjoy it and I figured it'd make some good background music for the video. So containerd.io. Looks like we're just going to get the latest version from stable. Install specific version, install from a package. Convene script. Okay, I think we're good. We'll find out when we actually go to run it, but I think we're good with the containerd install. So let's move on. So after we've installed it, apparently we have to configure it. So let's go ahead and you gotta make a directory. Make etc containerd directory. We'll use the file module. Path etc containerd state present, no, state directory. I think that's all I need for that. What was the dash P again? Make directory. Oh. Dash P was parents. I don't need to do that. Configure, and then we have to run this command here. Containerd config default. Is there a containerd module? I don't think so. There's a Docker module. So I'll just take this command. Set container config default. To do that. And then we need to restart container D. So where's my, I'm going to steal from my service module up here. Restart and enable container D. Now, mind you, I have yet to test any of these commands up here. So we're just going to write it out the way we think we should be written, and then we're going to run it, debug, run it, debug, run it, debug. We're going to restart, and we want to make sure it's enabled. System D, C group driver, set in C, set. Now, is this when using kubeadm manually configured for kubelets? So does that mean what's the difference here? Oh, okay, I see. So do I need to go into this file? Okay, so I think for now, what I want to do is I want to run what I have here to make sure it works, get containerd installed, and then continue messing with the configuration. Let's see back here actually. Get install role added. What do I have this running against right now? Actually, I haven't even configured it too. So we're going to skip that one because we did that in part 2 of the video. We want kubeadm install role, and we want to run it against. I only want to run it against one right now. You know, I only want to mess up one of my hosts. So let's just do it against load balancers. No, load balancers doesn't need containerd. Let's do it against, I'll pick one worker. K8s Cluster 01. Just to find the host itself that I want to run against. Let's see. Playbook. I'm going to use K8. Cool. It's been about a couple days since I last ran these, so let's see if things are working the way they should. Oh, I got a syntax error. Arrow YAML in kubeadm itself tasks main ending line. Oh, I have 2. Okay. Yeah, see, it doesn't like. You're unable to not get expected key. See, it doesn't like issue with missing quotes. When masters in group names. See, it should be pulling group names. Here. Well, let's see. Do I have the Ansible conditionals pulled up? Ansible conditional when in. Because I know group names is a variable. Only if hosts also in another host group. When so do I just use the quotation marks like that? I don't know, that seems a little silly to me. Yeah, no, that didn't fix it. Oh wait, no. That did fix it. Now I've got an issue with item.port. Ansible is very picky when it comes to quotations. Single, double. Okay, we ran. No hosts matched. K8s. Oh, you know what? So dumb. Because I did configure these. That is 177. I did configure these, but Ansible doesn't know those names. It only knows this name because I haven't changed them in here. Do what I configured them to. Rookie mistake. Let's see what it runs through. No, that's not what I need. So, because this host is a workers group, it should skip these ports and go straight to these ports. And what happened? The conditional check mastered. Group name failed. Yeah. Template error. Got string. String if mastered in worker. What? What? If I can never get these to work right. Ansible group facts. Let's go with that. Let's see. Let's work around this. I mean, I suppose I could define the host in the task. So let's see. So if I run the entire thing, if I run the entire playbook against all host inventory, these first two should only hit masters and workers respectively. What do you want from me? Conflicting statements, host, firewalld. Because I don't want to, I do want to put tags in here, but I don't want to separate these. I don't want to run one with one tag and one with the other tag. You know, I don't want to run tag with masters and tag with workers. I want to be able to run the whole thing and then it'd be like, this is a master, do this. This is a worker, do this. Ansible do tasks when host is in group. So I've seen this one before. And again, when is in group names. But that syntax did not work either. Get rid of that. Because apparently group names is a list. Running, but I don't know if it's going to evaluate the conditional. Oh, that's over. Let's replay. Yeah, see, now it failed. Undefined variable. What's undefined? Open ports workers. Oh, actually, it got past. Okay, so that worked. Thanks, Stack Overflow. It actually, but what am I getting? An undefined variable? What task am I on? A syntax problem, main YAML line 17. So it's got something to do here. I did this one the same way. I didn't get a syntax error. Firewalld port, permanent state with items. Item.port, undefined variable. Open ports, firewalld port, permanent state with items. 30,000 to 32,000 TCP. Oh, you know what? Did I? It should be. Damn it! I completely did with items wrong. It should be item.port. Then it's going to be the item port. Not gonna lie, you know, I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Alright, we're opening ports. Look at that. Now we should turn on and enable firewalld. We did. Disable swap now. So it ran that command. We're ignoring these. And then we're ls modding. Grep the RNF filter. Non-zero return code. Yeah, I know it came out empty. That's what I wanted. Actually, I think I'm going to ignore. I think it's ignore errors. True. Command module. Args, I think it's in here. Maybe. Warn. Removes, ignore. Well, I think ignore errors is true. There's no harm in ignoring these errors. Actually, I think you would want Ansible error handling. Because yeah, you can ignore these errors, but I mean, ideally you don't want to. You want to say, oh, no output. You know, I can ignore a failed command because it failed because there was no output. And then it'll keep going. I can do a failed when. If you want to test the fail when only one condition is satisfied. I don't want it to fail at all. So yeah, I think I'm I'm gonna go this route for now. Instead of dealing, that'll be my error handling. Because there's no harm in this error handling this way. It's just, you know, if there is an error that might cause you issues on a certain task, you're gonna get hit with it. You know, if you're checking to do a reboot and you're checking for something that's gonna break the machine if you reboot, but you decide to ignore errors, it's gonna reboot anyway, and then you're screwed. Now we're okay, so we went through all these. Now we're installing our required software to set up containerd install repo. Alright, where do we fail? No package matching containerd d.io. So yeah, there is a module for getting the GPG key running curl. The only reason I didn't do it was because of this piped command here. I didn't know if I use the curl module, is this all I'm able to do? Or am I able to pipe that out to this as well? I suppose I could separate them. So we're stuck here. So apparently it created the repo. It ran this command. So why did the containerd.io fail? Containerd.io. Let's find out. Let's go at K8s worker 01. Sudo deal with this. And that's why I changed the root password. So apparently we set this up. So let's cat this first, make sure that actually exists. Okay, so then if we apt containerd.io, are we searching? Couldn't find any packages. Containerd.io. Containerd run C? Oh, you know what? Hang on, let me hit no here. I ran this command for x86-64 AMD 64. I'm on ARM 64. Let me run that. And then try this. What? Container d.io. But if I go here, ARM64. Oh, god damn it. Focal stable. To your parent Ubuntu distro, for example, if you're using Linux Mint Tessa, you use Bionic. Docker does not offer any guarantees. Untested. So what am I using? Arctic Deb? I chose Deb for LSB release. No, Focal Stable. Oh, you know what? Do I? Oh gosh darn it. Silly me. Didn't run that git update. Hey, there we go. We found it. So let's update this for ARM64. Thing. There we go. So ARM64, and before we do that, because we added a repo, we forgot to update. Am I still on? No. Let's see. What's the update look like for the apt module? For Yum, it's just update. Apt. Update. Run the equivalent of apt-get update. Update cache. Oh, I can just run update cache. Do they have an example of that? Yes, yes they do. Update cache. Yes. So we'll update the cache. Oh wait, did I just? I can remove this one. Yeah. Update and install requires software to set up container D. So cool. Alright, so our playbook's configured all the way up to here. Basically. So we're gonna make this directory. So actually, let me exit. Let's say fixed syntax errors and ARM64 repo. Full on commit. Awesome. And let's see. I'm actually gonna run this again. And that should go all the way to here. So it should make the directory. It should set the container config default, restart containerd, and then we can move on to the rest of the steps here. So we'll do that later, actually. Install cry-o as a container runtime, which we're not doing. Alright, next would be to install kubeadm, kubelet, and kubectl. Sorry, drinking my Dunkin' Donuts. Let's see. Why is this taking so long? Alright, so I'm back and I have no idea why, but I was having this weird problem when I set up the repositories, right? So when I downloaded the GPG key, set up the repo, and then attempted to update do an apt-get update or install anything from that repository, it works the first time the playbook is run, the first time all those files are placed there. Then it wasn't working any subsequent time after that. And the only way I don't know if that's a way of an effect of the way I was doing things or whatever, but the only way I could find a way around it was to just at the top of the playbook to just use the file module and remove all the repo list files and the GPG keys. So I removed at the top in case they're already installed from a previous run, and then everything works just fine. I mean, you can even see here that I've installed, because this is a worker, it gets kubectl, kubeadm, and kubelet. It's gone that far already. I did want to go back though and replace, because I didn't even think about a mod probe module for Ansible. So right here, I'm actually going to go ahead and comment all these out, because if I don't have to check to see if it's loaded and then load it using command, I'd rather use modprobe module, because that would be idempotent. It would already know if it's there or not, and if it based on the state. So let's do load modules. Let's do modprobe and need a name. And since I'm going to be doing multiple modules, I think I'm going to go ahead and do them in a with items fashion. So it's going to be name.item, I believe. Let me double check. I always get this mixed up. Item.name, sorry. Item.name. And then we know for a state we want present. We want these loaded. So we'll do with items. Its name. We want VR net filter. And we also want overlay. I believe was the name of that module. Overlay VR net filter. Yes. Okay, so now when I run this, assuming I set that up right. And why is it not prompting? Did it freeze? What's going on? Okay. There we go. Removing those. I'm looking for specifically for the load modules task. Oh, and they're already there. Okay, so I can. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to cancel. I'm just going to let it run. There's no harm. Load required. Module. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. I wonder, is there a Ansible sysctl module? Okay. There is. But I think I'll go with the template. I think I'll do the template way for now. But that's handy to know. I did not know that was there. So now I can, because I fixed this issue, clean this up. Clean this up. Clean that up.